Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from our sponsor. Daily Compliance News for June 20, 2022, the Trump SPAC subpoenaed edition. And we begin with that story from the New York Times as Trump's social media network deal is under grand jury scrutiny. And the publicly listed company took a fresh blow when the cash-rich shell company merging with Trump's company has received a regulatory filing that a federal grand jury in New York is looking at it. So no surprise there, since it didn't meet the minimum requirements for doing a SPAC. Next up, from the Wall Street Journal, Risk and Compliance Journal, Mingy Sun reporting, banks are facing a number of challenges this year, including more complex transactions, compliance, and increasing staff turnover, the Office of Comptroller of Currency said. The OCC, which regulates national banks, said in its semi-annual risk report, banks have continued to navigate challenges, but some big headwinds are on the horizon. Next up, from KXAN, a first-time contributor to the Daily Compliance News, reports that Nigeria's Chief Justice has resigned amid corruption allegations. The highest judicial officer has resigned. Justice Tanko Mohammed has denied allegations of corruption, but he didn't resign. So you have to wonder how valid or his defense of invalidity are going forward. So our final story comes to us from Reuters as global M&A braces for a dry spell as boardrooms put the kibosh on expansion. Global deal making is entering an arid season as raging inflation and a stock market rout curb the appetite of many boards. What does this mean for compliance? Well, it means that if you are in the midst of an M&A boom, your workload may decrease in this area, but it also gives you the opportunity for more scrutiny on the deals that you do move forward on. Russia's invasion of Ukraine and fears that a recession are looming have dealt blows to M&A in Q2. The value of deals dropped nearly 25% from the prior year. Companies are standing back from M&A in the short term. Of course, in the SPAC market, that may be even more so true because of the regulatory uncertainty and the litigation uncertainty from companies that have tried to go SPAC but have not been able to do so without running afoul of current securities laws. So once again, if you're a compliance professional, you may have an opportunity to step back and do more enhanced due diligence on the targets you do move forward on, and it may give you the opportunity to more effectively and quickly integrate any new acquisitions into your compliance program under a best practices compliance program. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.